I'm Lady Charmaine, and I have another great interview for you today on the Lady Charmaine Live Show. You may know my next guest from several TV shows that we're getting ready to discuss, but right now her name is Miss Erica Ash. You know her as an actress whose film credits include Scary Movie 5, Mad TV, Real House Husbands of Hollywood, also Survivor's Remorse. And she's here today to talk about her new starring role in the BET series In Contempt. Help me welcome to the Lady Charmaine Live Show. She goes by the name of Miss Erica Ash. Welcome to the Lady Charmaine Live Show.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Oh, good. Well, first I want to say congratulations. This is a great role. I got a chance to check out the trailer, and I'm really excited about it. But before we get into that, as I did a little research on you, Miss Erica, I found out that you've traveled the world because your parents were in the military. So what was it like for you growing up? And trying to make friends, and then you have to root up and move somewhere else. Was that very difficult for you?
You know, it was at first, and then you kind of get used to it. My father, we started traveling when I was about 9 months old, so that's kind of what I knew. And I didn't, it was just kind of one of those things. So you learn to kind of get in and make friends quick because you know you're only going to have them for 3 years.
Right.
and then you get out. It gets easier and easier each time, and I think that was actually a great setup for the life that I live now. Because as an artist, going from project to project, you make family with the people that you work with, and you work together and you eat together and you spend an inordinate amount of time. I mean, these hours can go up to 22 hours a day, so you're around these people and they sort of become your family. And then the next thing you know, Survivor's Remorse is over, and then here you are on In Contempt with a brand new family. So it really helped me out with what my destiny was, which was this.
Well, because we was going to go over it kind of like in a little order that when you became an actress, because I also read that you wanted to become a doctor. So I wanted to know, how did you go from being a doctor to an actress?
Well, my parents wanted to dream a little bit more than I did, and that's kind of what I discovered when I was. I went to Emory University. I was pre-med there, and while I was there, I finished my pre-med requirements and just kind of was left, and I finished them early, so I was just kind of left with a lot of time to think. And I thought, is this what I really want? I'm good at it, but do I love it? And the answer was no, I didn't love it. I liked helping people, but I wasn't sure that the doctor was the route for me. And so I decided to take a year off. And in that year, I ended up traveling to Japan, and I ended up falling into a background singing gig. And then someone saw me there, I became a model. Someone saw me there, I became a ringside announcer. And it was just this amazing sort of Forrest Gump-like experience that I had while I was there, just kind of saying yes. It was my year of yes. And once I found myself sort of immersed in the world of performing arts, I was like, yeah, this is it. This is what I want to do. And I never looked back, and it's one of the greatest decisions I could have ever made. And that's why I won't date anybody who hasn't traveled, because I feel like, by traveling, it completely changed my life.
I like how you say you were a ringside. What did you say? A ringside what? Announcer? What, for boxing? For what?
A ringside announcer. Yeah. K1 Kickboxing.
Really?
It was a sister organization to the Pride Ultimate Fighting. Yeah.
That's something I got to check out. If you got women, if you got women in there fighting, that's so interesting. You had an interesting career, and then
no, it wasn't. It wasn't women. It wasn't women.
It was for men.
But I was ringside announcer. I was American. Yeah, I was the American ringside announcer, and there was a Japanese ringside announcer because it was held in Japan, and the K1 Kickboxers came from all around.
Okay, so next, we know that you were in Mad TV, and I wanted to ask you because, when you do sketch comedy, you literally have to study the people that you're going to, like Michelle Obama, Raven Simone, and Whoopi Goldberg. I wanted to find out, how did you get into those characters?
It's interesting. I watch tape on them. I have a musical ear, and they say people who are inclined to music are pretty good with languages and accents and things like that. And that certainly rings true for me. I pick up accents quick. I mean, even for Chuck, the Boston accent, I watched Wahlburger. People are like, where did you study? I'm like, I didn't. I just watched Wahlburger. If I hear it a few times, I can usually pick up people's mannerisms, but I'm very interested in people. I've always had a very, very strong interest in watching people and understanding why they move the way they move, or speak the way they speak, or think the way that they think. And so I watch them all the time, and I study them carefully. So if I watch, if I watch Michelle Obama and I watch Whoopi Goldberg and I watch, Raven Simone, and I just kind of mimicked what I saw.
Well, if you're just tuning in, we're talking to Erica Ash. She is starring in the new BET series In Contempt, and you may have seen her also in The Real House Husbands. And I got to ask you, what was it like working with Kevin Hart?
Oh, he's so funny. He's literally a mile a minute. He is all over the place. We would I would chase him around set. We acted like brother and sister, and we would just torment each other, and we got so much pleasure out of it. It was the funniest thing. And but he's a very, he's a good guy. He's, right where he's supposed to be, and he's worked hard to get there, and he's a hustler, and I really, really respect his hustle.
Now, everything that you've gone through, we went briefly over your resume, and that is what led us to where we are today. You are now starring in the new BET series In Contempt, starring Beyonce Daddy and also Christian Keys. Let's talk about that a little bit. How did you end up landing that role? Well, Beyonce's stepdaddy.
First of all, I am so grateful. Yeah, so me and Beyonce are now sisters. I'm so proud to tell people that, because Richard Lawson plays my dad, and Beyonce and I are sisters. Thank you. And Miss Tina is my stepmom. So I actually was approached a few months ahead of being offered it, and I was given the script to just, read for interest. And that's all I was told. Just read this for interest and tell me what you think. And I read it, and I was like, this script is amazing. Who's going to play these characters? Like, because I was just reading it for interest. I was like, I would love to be, one of the characters in the script. And I was thinking, like, who are they going to offer me? Are they going to offer me, Tracy? Are they going to offer me Vanessa? They were like, well, no, we were thinking about you as Gwen. And my mouth was on the floor. I was like, what? I was like, that is amazing. And, I obviously said I would love to do it. Absolutely, yes. And then, I went back and kind of worked on some things, and then they went back and I guess went into the huddle and discussed. And maybe about a month or two later, a month or two later, they came back and they said, well, we want to offer you the role. So it was a straight offer. I didn't audition for it. They had me in mind for it when they decided to put it up, and I'm really grateful for that, because that means that they saw other work that I did, because it obviously didn't come from nowhere, but there was also a good deal of trust that they had to have with me in order to do this role, because as you know, my bag is generally comedy that people have seen. Mm-hmm. I've always been able to do drama, but once you get into Hollywood and you do one thing well, they kind of keep pinning you for that one thing. And so with the Big Gay Sketch Show, with Mad TV, with Real Husbands of Hollywood, they were like, well, this is the comedic actress. And I think they might have seen something in Chuck, because Chuck was a little bit more well-rounded in that sense. Mm-hmm. She had her dramatic parts as well as the funny. And I think that they saw that and they thought, this girl can do it. And I'm grateful that they took the shot on me, and I put everything into this character and left it all on the table. So now, you'll see tonight.
You said something, because, see, I'm a Christian, and this is what I believe. When God has something for you, it's for you. When He has you in mind, and I like how you said they had you already in mind. So basically, this was going to be you. Yes. We just want to slide it to you, see how you like the character, because this is who we want to play this character. So basically, they had no one else in mind but you. But we just had to just call you in for a minute to see how well you like the role. So I think that is fantastic. So what can people expect? Tell us about the show. What is it about?
Divine. The show is it's a racy, fast-paced, legal 1-hour legal procedural. It's the first of its kind on BET, and unlike the Law and Orders that that are from the perspective of the district attorney, this is actually from the perspective of the public defender, which is one of the most they're the unsung heroes of the law industry, and I think that it's high time that they get lauded and applauded for all the hard work that they do. They're understaffed, they're under funded, and they're just underinformed in terms of the information they get. The DA gets everything, and then they kind of get whatever the DA wants them to have. So they're fighting the battle royale with one hand tied behind their back. So this woman that I play, Gwen Sullivan, is that. She is, the public defender who is very passionate and understands that justice is not for all. You get the justice you can afford, but she's willing to do absolutely anything and everything, including go to jail herself, to make sure that her clients get a fair trial. And, I think that in terms of how creative that public defenders have to be, they're probably the most talented of lawyers, because they have to get equal justice for their clients with maybe a third of the resources. Our show follows my character and Charlie Riggs, who was played by Christian Keys. Megan Hutchings is on it, playing my best friend Tracy, who's also working in the firm. And then Muna Traore plays Vanessa, who also works in the firm. And then, of course, Ronnie Rowe Jr., who plays E.J. Deshay, who I lovingly call him Evil Jesus. Our firm is, our firm. I shouldn't say our firm. Our office. We fight for our clients. We have our interpersonal office relationships. Each of us has our own journey. We're all flawed in some way, and so there's a lot of relatability with our characters, and I think our audience will connect to one or more of the characters, and many women will connect to Gwen. I mean, she's, the story of she's the poster child for the hardworking woman who is trying to juggle, love and health and career, and, her relationship with her father, who's played by Mr. Richard Lawson, him not approving of her career choice, him wanting more and better for her, but her wanting to, stake her claim as an independent adult and do what she feels in her heart she should be doing.
Well, that sounds like a whole lot.
Bit of everything. And the show is going to keep you entertained. Yeah.
Because that was one of my questions. I was going to ask you what you
whole kit and caboodle.
Right, what you wanted people to take away from the show. So you basically answered that question for me. And my next question for you, just briefly, when you're not working, what can we find Erica Ash doing?
Sleeping. I'm sleep, Charmaine. I don't get enough sleep. And so when I'm not working, I am in this bed, and it feels so good. I have the best bed. I think my bed is made of some sort of weird, addictive, some substance that I just can't get enough of, because I don't think I can get enough sleep. It's just wonderful.
I know that's right.
And then I'm traveling somewhere where I can go to sleep, Charmaine.
I know it because it's real bright and early for us this morning, so I know that's right.
Yeah, people are like, you want to go out? No, I do not. I want to sleep. That's what I want to do.
Well, you know what? You deserve it. You've been working very hard. You have been blessed. So thank God you are truly a Black woman working in this industry. So I applaud you for that. And I want to remind everyone that you make sure that you tune in tonight to the BET series In Contempt, 10/9 Central on BET, starring Erica Ash, Christian Keys, Mr. Richard Lawson. We want to make sure that you all tune in. Let's just give them some really good ratings tonight, okay? And let them know we were ready to watch another court show right there on BET. It's the first of its kind. So let's make sure that we celebrate BET tonight and what they're bringing to us. Great television. And I want to say thank you again, Erica, for being on the show. And I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you so much, Charmaine. You have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye. And don't forget to tune in again to BET tonight for In Contempt, starring again Miss Erica Ash. So make sure, if you can't watch it live, make sure you DVR. We want to make sure that we give them the ratings tonight, okay? So let's make sure that we support our own Black entertainment television. And the Lady Charmaine Live Show is being brought to you by UpUpAndAwayTravelServices.com. Book your travel services today through my girl, Miss Sherry Brockman. You can give her a call at 916-826-6606. And make sure you go up and away with travelservices.com. And again, I'm Lady Charmaine. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye-bye.